And we are
All
recording.
right.
We got Mickey in
In
the
the
house.
house.
That's what it is. We
We're
got
keeping.
Coco.
In the
Yes, sir.
house.
Estamos
There
con
we
el
go.
gran Pepe Rodríguez in the house. Pepito, ¿cómo está? ¿Me escuchas?
Claro, fuerte y claro.
All right.
Gracias. Thank you for being
This
here.
is West Side Meet the Flood is in the
That's
house.
what it is. That's what
We're
it
in the
is.
south side of it.
We got Mr. Casper.
Location wise, it's like you're also not correct.
Wait a minute, wait a minute. Casper, Mr. Casper. Hey there. Just want to hear everyone now.
Oh yeah,
All
Angel.
right.
Can I call you Angel or Angel?
Angel.
Angel.
Okay.
Angel.
We
Yes.
haven't given you much time today, Angel. Tell me
Angel.
what's up with you,
Angel.
man? You're still also in the music business, right? Right?
Sorry, what?
You're also in the music business, right?
Charlie
Uh, yes. Yes. I'm as well composing music myself,
All right.
and you know, oh, gosh. I mean,
Yeah, it's a
I
lot
I
to it,
think
right?
I think most of us probably for the last couple of years we have a different view over the music business.
Yeah. Oh, we're talking about Puff. What we
Not
thought?
only,
Let's
not only, not,
Okay.
not only.
I want to check on Mr. Ian Temple, see if we can hear us. Can you hear us, Ian? Oh, we can't hear you now. Something's wrong with your mic. It's not plugged. Yeah, we can see you, but we don't hear you.
Escucha.
No.
Nothing at all.
Okay, now we hear you.
All right. Yeah. Little low.
Little low. I think you're not using the right mic. Okay, yeah, that's it.
Now you hear me. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Now
yeah,
we
I
hear
heard
you. Yeah.
we're talking about Puff, right?
Yeah.
No,
I
no.
want to hear this. I want to hear your point of view. Tell me. Tell me.
Okay.
My point of view is, I want to hear the names of the people who aren't famous. That's what I want to hear.
Who aren't famous.
I don't care how many little pop stars get caught up in this thing. I want to know like the suits behind. I want to know the people actually above Puffy.
I give you a name.
Bigger picture.
Clive Davis.
I was gonna say, before you interrupted me with Puff, I was gonna say Clive
He's in there
Davis.
saying,
I was gonna I was
oh,
gonna say Clive Davis because
Clive Davis, man.
well,
they,
yeah.
I mean, he's the one who got Puff into this. I mean, he was the one who actually people say he raped Puff and he taught him this.
I
And then
mean,
Puff was like
there
following the
there has
tradition.
been
He was just
there
following the
has been
tradition.
there has been stuff going on in this industry for a much longer time
Right.
than we all know. I mean, I'm just very surprised that, I grew up in America, right? So I'm
Right.
very surprised that when R. Kelly was married to Aaliyah, and Aaliyah was underage, no one
Right.
paid any attention, and no one paid any attention when, you know, TLC announced their bankruptcy, in at the award show, like at the press of the award show. No one paid any attention to any. All of a sudden, people are paying attention now. Like there has been hints
Right.
all over the years. Even
from
like
Frank
Sinatra, even
back
like way back
the way.
Like more Quincy Joneses, please. Let's get a Quincy Jones.
Yes.
Haven't heard about him. And
Quincy Jones, you think it's involved too?
Because
the
early.
Right. The sad part about it is that unfortunately this industry has nothing to do for the music, unfortunately.
I mean, the industry has changed a lot, like
Well,
now
I'd say I'd say making money has very little to do with making good music, but making good music can get you attention and then you can parlay that attention into money. But I think kind of the problem is that, all these guys are just, I think that the financial incentives of the music industry are so terrible that it's like, you almost to be like making $1 billion. You almost need to be like trafficking, sex slaves. Like you can't do it off of Spotify downloads.
No,
I'm not
no
saying
way,
anyone
no
should do
way.
that.
This is the other thing I want. This is the other thing I wanted to mention, that nobody but
Oh, we lost you there,
you
man.
know,
Okay.
back in the day
back.
when someone would announce an album coming out, that was an event.
Yeah, I
That's-
mean, it's
that's-
totally different, man, because back
None
then, I
of
mean,
that, none
there's
of that
too many,
is
there's so
happening
many,
now.
there's so many branches to the thing because, like, I mean, like, like even, politicians use the artists to get people to think in some way. So sometimes they're helped by them. So sometimes there's a reason why some people are famous, and then you try to be famous, and it's like, I don't know, there's a lot of things. And then back then, if you were on TV, like everybody saw you, and it was hard to be there. But if you were there,
And that's also
now you
that's
already
also,
made it, But now
that
you
is
can make yourself your
that
own
is
music. You don't have to spend on it. But where do you put it? Where do you put
And
it?
he
Just
that is
became a
that is
billionaire
that is that is
his
another
parties.
that is
yeah,
another
it
big
was out of his parties. Okay, go
that
on.
is another big issues. Artists do not have a platform anymore.
Mhm.
I mean, we
Artists-
do. We everyone has its own platform, but no one's looking at it. That's the difference.
Yeah, but because everybody literally has a platform now,
Exactly.
no one is looking at no one. I
It's
mean,
like the game has changed so much. The game has
You-
changed
you-
so much. And it used to be like,
It used to be like when an album came out, the songs were written by that artist, and now it's like somebody else is writing it. You have no idea who they
not,
are,
not
and
even
they're like,
that though.
No
Not even that. I mean,
writers.
if you see Michael Jackson albums, he don't write the songs. He's not writing the songs. Like
he
Quincy
was at
Jones.
least involved in it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even about that. It's about like now everyone can actually be an artist because it's actually cheap and easy. But then and then you think, okay, so if I can sing, like you see an artist and you say, okay, if he can do it, he's a millionaire. Now I can do it.
Oh yeah, no, that's the
Again,
same thing with YouTube. That's why there are
it's
no
not, but it
TV
doesn't
stars and
work
movie
like that.
stars.
But it doesn't work like that because it's about who you are. Like if you're like, like who's a famous rapper right now? Like I don't know. Eminem or whatever, or Snoop Dogg. If you're Snoop Dogg,
But do you realize that
matter what
actually
you do.
in our days right now, there's almost no new artist you could name that made it big.
Drake, maybe Drake, or
No, but Drake, no.
it's not from our time.
Drake was probably one of the last ones that made it through when CDs were still selling.
But what
Adele
about the
made it
reggaeton?
through.
What about the reggaeton
Adele
artists?
made it through
Bad-
when CDs were
Bad
still
Bunny.
selling.
You got Bad Bunny, Daddy Yankee, J Balvin, Maluma.
Daddy,
I mean,
Doja
the Latino
Cat.
music, we got the biggest artists ever now in the Latino community. Like, it's weird how it works. You got to be slick about it. Like, now they have a bigger platform than ever. Like, I don't know. So you got to know how to use it. It's kind of like easier and harder.
But Doja Cat is not even singing. Doja Cat is like she's
Doja Cat.
Doja Cat, whatever her name.
Doja Cat, the rapper.
And I mean, how could you? I mean, I grew up. I mean, I grew up obviously learning cello. I started playing the cello when I was 4, but I grew up listening to quote unquote quality rap. Like Lisa Left Eye Lopez or Missy Elliott. You can't. I mean, listening to I don't know what was Cardi B or Doja Cat, whatever. I mean, you can't even compare. It's, for example, Lisa Left Eye Lopez. For example, she had this phenomenal, like way of just saying her lines and just phenomenal. Like you would remember it. Right now, that's not around.
Yeah, a lot of things have changed. Like, I mean, there's hell more music than ever now. Like, well, it's always going to be more music than ever, right? But then, I mean, like, for instance, like, I don't know, like, I used to think, like, if I sing good and I can be famous and shit, but it's got nothing to do with that. It's like you gotta, like, work on who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, people know you because of who you are. It's not even about singing good, not about being a good musician. You could be the best musician ever, but if people don't know who you are, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just listening to this program about like how we've moved through these different levels of like the economy, and right now, long story short, we're in this one where like the primary resource is attention. You know, like Scarface, he said, first you get the money, then you get the power, then you get the weed. You know,
That's me.
now
That's
it's,
me right there.
now it's like first you get the attention, then you get the power, and then finally you get the money. But it's like it's backwards, from
I
where it was
think
at.
I think that the business has changed so much that it's really hard to have like a business model. Like there's many ways. I mean, you gotta like blow up, or at least you gotta have an audience big enough to sell them stuff.
Right.
Or even if you have like two clients and you sell like a high ticket, like there's a way many ways to go. Like I don't even live off of this. I'm an English teacher. But then that enables me to be a musician, and I can make my own albums, and I don't even need to worry about if my music sells or not. I don't want to worry about that. I just want to make music.
Like even Britney had the power, had the money, and is like went crazy and is like done with it. So
Yeah, but okay, that's a good point.
but also Mozart just dropped his last single and he's dead. He's been dead for centuries.
Yeah.
No, but what I'm saying specifically, Britney, I think she was working with some political organization or someone like she was being controlled, and that's why she became so famous so fast. It's not because of her pretty face or pretty voice. She needed to be in that place so that she could influence on the people. So
Yeah,
she
but
was
also saw no
definitely
money.
put there. I mean, she must have seen some money, right? Or her parents or whatever, but she definitely went crazy because she was all the time she was doing what she was told, and then, like she never had a life, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's the same thing. I'm not the puppet, you're the puppet, type thing. And so it's like, no, I get it. But also, she was a good singer, was a musician, saw no money, went crazy, still popular, still sold seats. So
Yeah, I'm a
it's
fan.
that's what Ian's saying is like it's not about
Exactly.
anything anymore.
Mhm.
And so like I said, the guy at Washington Square Park is an amazing musician. He's barely making rent, but he's doing it. But you wouldn't know who he is. We made a name for him. We named him. It's Chucky. I don't know what his real name is, but oh yeah, there's Chuck. There's Chucky. So
You named him. Yeah, man. I'm a Britney fan, like hardcore Britney fan, man. I
Me
love
too,
every
bro.
song.
The more time goes by, the more I like appreciate what she represented to pop music and how she kind of did things. It really does seem like an energy that's like sorely missing, and it was just a much more fun pop landscape with her in it.
Right, right.
And everybody says those songs are really easy to do, but
No,
it's false for me, huh?
no.
Have you heard and the NSYNC song named Gone? Gone?
Gone.
Yeah. It's not that popular.
Yeah.
So it's kind of popular. But if you see the chords, the progressions, they're not simple, bro. It sounds
Nah.
simple.
Nah, man, that music is, I mean, it's hard to make something look simple and catchy. And this is actually written by Max Martin, the Swede guy. Probably heard about him. He writes most major hits from the Backstreet Boys and all, you
Hmm.
know. And there was some video, some guy who put like all of his songs and he was like doing some stats and he was like, in 70% of his songs, he used this chord progression, which was
Yeah.
like first, fifth, sixth, but that means he knows what he's doing. He knows, okay, with this progression, how
Exactly,
this
and
goes.
that's another thing. Now, most of the artists now they have no idea what they're doing. They have no idea what they're doing.
even Gonna Be May, it was that same Swedish
Yes,
producer.
yes,
He came. He was like, you gotta say May. He was like, why?
yes.
Los
Yeah.
sacos te van. No, mentira, mentira.
I have such a love-hate relationship with that, like pop pronunciation of words, like yeah, instead of you.
Yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
conductor, and
It's
I'm like,
gonna be
it's
May.
and look, we know it. We know it. We all love it. We know it. That's why it's popular. But again, as a conductor, as a classically trained conductor, there are things that people do that are like cringe and like, I gotta listen to that
dude.
word. It's like an itch you can't
I
finish
got a point
scratching.
about that. I got a point about that because what makes you feel cringe maybe makes like a girl fall in love or something. Like this cringy feeling that you cannot even listen. But that girl, that same feeling, and she loves that. She loves listening to that. Like you say, honey, I love you, baby. That's cringy. But she loves to listen to that. So it's kind of tricky, you know, you know. So I think music is all about playing with emotions, you know, the chords and the words, and it's all about magic, you know. And when I was an artist before, I thought it was about like
When you were on
you
Earth,
gotta be technically right.
this is the second time you've been on Earth. When you were
When
what?
I was an artist before.
Ah,
Yeah.
I thought you said.
Nah, the thing is, I got like two different like stages in my career where I used to be an artist and it was all about me, and putting myself out there and me and things. I mean, it's not about the music. And actually, my music was not good at all, you know. And then I thought, because I thought you had to do this like to sell, you know, and not focusing on the music. But then I stopped doing that and I just started focusing on the music, you know, and like playing guitar and instrumentals. And now just, I don't even care about how I name it or how I sell it. I just focus on the music, you know. So it's a totally different approach. I don't need to be everywhere. Like some people say that musicians, you gotta be everywhere. Like, gotta be in everything. And then, nah, just do the music. And, you know, whenever you meet someone, hey, this is my music. You know,
Well, there's
when
also a
I'm,
big difference between performing live and getting in front of an audience, seeing people, and then doing like studio recordings.
Oh yeah.
It's like
Oh
you have
yeah.
to do tracking, and then like that. There
No.
was a viral video where somebody did the Carpenter song, and so she recorded it herself and recreated Karen Carpenter's thing. Studio recording, you can get some audience and some views, but it's not that connection with
No.
oh yeah, it's
No.
a different art form. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's
I have to agree 100% on this one. I'm definitely live type performer. I'm definitely not. I mean, if when I would record music that I composed and wrote, it would be probably, I don't know, not more than 3 hours maximum recording session. I'm definitely on the live performing spectrum as well.
you only get one chance. You get one shot at it.
Yeah, but
I've
that's what's exciting about it, you know?
I've done both. I've done both. I've been performing live for a long time, and then this last album, I haven't performed it live yet. I only recorded it, but I recorded all the instrument, and now I'm looking for a band.
And actually, the live performance is always so exciting, at least for me. And I think for the guy who is conducting, probably he can relate to that. Because with the live performance, especially if you perform on original music, and most of the music I write is for orchestra and cello. And when you perform live, it's always very interesting what you're gonna do and how you're going to do it, and the the dynamics and everything. And would you add something, if it's yours, and you have the freedom to,
Oh yeah,
you know,
I might conduct faster at one performance just because of
Yeah,
adrenaline, or I might
you
not
know,
point at you and just
or
see if you're paying attention. Yeah.
absolutely. Or if it's your piece, you can extend the intro, or you can, I don't know, extend it in general. It's all these things where the studio actually just locks you up in a box.
A
and you
studio
don't have-
is a fun thing. It's a jam session, and if you
Right.
get
Yeah.
something good out of it at the end of the day,
Yeah.
that's fine. Because I've done
Yeah.
both. It's the difference between doing television and doing theater. Theater, you get one shot at it, and that's it. Television, let's go back and do it again, and it's one day,
right.
and that's
Which
it.
takes.
That's right. But with television, you can there's a chance that if you end up in a show where you can do it in front of live audience, then it's again.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, totally agree. Yeah, I mean, the other thing is also working
Right.
in theater and television stuff is being a musician and doing stage management and stuff like that. Watching somebody pretend to play an instrument is like I can't,
Yeah,
I
no.
can't do it.
No.
But
Or like
there's very,
hold a microphone incorrectly. I can't watch it.
there's very few acts that are a 10 out of 10 at both. I mean, I'm a rocker. I mean, Led Zeppelin like absolutely tore it up in the studios. I mean, can't get enough of it. But their live shows were kind of inconsistent, from what everybody said. The Doors, same thing. I mean, they did their second, third, fourth takes, especially starting off. I mean, the Byrds, they were basically like kind of like a boy band of the 1960s. They were all completely assembled in the studio. But I think America was like a very naive country and didn't, now we hear about some new boy band or just like derp, like they didn't just start in a garage.
No, but like if even as old and okay, they're not old, but also they're not here. As old as Chicago is, I can see them live wherever they are, whenever they are, and still enjoy it. Earth, Wind, and Fire, whoever's doing it, I can still enjoy it. So,
And also, for example, uh, I think Queen were a band that were really, their music was really to listen to live. I mean, because I have few out, like I've downloaded few albums of them, live albums, It's just the energy
I was a
from the
big
live
Queen
albums
fan.
and the studio recording is from
Right.
here to the sky and back.
When I
I mean, for
was
example,
I mean,
like one song,
Does somebody have a
Queen.
charger? I think Pip is looking for a charger or something.
um,
just to get a word in, I can't imagine a better example of a band that's a 10 live, 10 studio than Queen.
Queen, right?
Yeah. I mean, for example,
Yeah,
one
yeah.
song that I really don't like their studio version of is Radio Gaga. And at the same time, their live version of Radio Gaga is phenomenal.
Oh man, I love them both. I can't. Wow, I've never heard somebody. That's okay. What? Actually, if you don't mind, what don't you like about the studio version?
It doesn't bring that energy that Freddie does in the live performance. There's and I've been listening a lot of the times a live performance of Radio Gaga in the studio. The studio is just it's like I'm missing the energy there a lot. I'm missing the energy a lot. And Radio Gaga is a song that needs a lot of energy. And I feel like when Freddie is in front of whatever audience, he's just like ugh,
Yeah, no, it's a funny thing. I mean, because like the studio version of something, you have to kind of give it like this foundational laying down the track.
Yeah.
And when the audience comes to see it, especially if it's a big hit, they already hear the part that they kind of came to hear playing. So then you can just immediately start riffing off of, what was already
And
put
the other
down.
thing is, every time they did Radio Gaga live, they did it faster, and I think that's another thing that I really liked.
Yeah, I like everything a little fast. I mean, one of my favorite bands, probably, but I love AC/DC. I can't get enough AC/DC, and their Huntington show is kind of like their definitive live performance, and everything's like 10 to 15% faster than studio.
I just wish, for example, I wish Freddie would have lived to sing "Show Must Go On" live, or to sing "I'm Going Slightly Mad" live. I wish.
Yeah, it's funny. Actually, this week on my YouTube channel, I'm going to be recording a breakdown of, do you know the song "It's a Hard Life"? I absolutely love those studio vocals. So I'm going to do like a breakdown of like which registry he's using at different parts, and kind of use it as a snapshot of what makes him such a dynamic singer.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Okay.
That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Well, I would say I would stick a rod in your spoke here for a second, because we're talking about recording and studios and stuff like that. One of my always on my playlist is Daft Punk, which of course steals little snippets of everything. But they also have done like South by Southwest, and they also have performed live, but they're not really performing. But it's the same kind of thing where it's a vibe. So my question would be like, is that actually performing if you're just kind of DJing? Because now DJing is, let me pull up Spotify and sit and
that open up.
No, but
sip my vodka soda, and basically they're not DJing anymore.
But the DJing game is changing. There's this machine. Do you know this machine? Everyone
Yeah.
If you know this machine, you can like improvise live. No, it's pretty cool.
You can do a sample and then basically
we were
drum
just
kit
talking about that because Pepe was telling me, like, as a DJ and a musician, he was trying to look for a more performative side of it.
So I do something kind of monolink. Have you heard monolink?
Monolink.
Yeah, you should hear him. He's a DJ, but he uses the APC, and he sings, and he plays the guitar and the piano, and monolink, just like that. He sings really nice, really good productions and compositions. And I'm trying to do something like to be like to go to a concert alone, and with this machine you can like press one button and the bass is going on, and then you can enter something and leave a mood like for 2 minutes and start like improvising. That's for me, that's music. Like
that's basically doing like jazz, and like the conductor pointing at you and saying, "Hey, make something up right now." But it's like, okay, let me loop this, so loop, and like, okay, what the fuck am I going to do right now? And having to get creative, as opposed to, okay, let me turn on Spotify, and that's not performing. But also, that's the point I was trying to make, is that Daft Punk is not, they're not playing anything, but they are playing the machine, but they are also doing improvising on the fly, and to me, that's equally creative and equally valid. That's valid performance in my.
Yeah, it opens up like a big discussion and a big topic about how much is DJing, like how much you can do, like, but it's a lot you can do, huh?
For me, there's a kind of a limit because there's a group named Hippie Sabotage, the one that do you remember this song? You got the devil in your eyes. That was viral. Live like gold, and I don't know how famous is that
Yeah,
song.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, those guys are going to every concert in the States. Like every day they have in their tours, and they just put play, man. It's like
Mhm.
listening to the Spotify version, but with two guys like doing the vibe and the how do you say Coliseo, the Eduardo?
In the venue, in the
Yeah,
Stadium.
it's there's a lot of
Coliseum,
people. How do you say? Está lleno, está explotando. It's exploding
It's
of
full.
people.
It's full. It's
Yeah,
full of people.
and
Full.
everybody's like, wow, you have to see that, man. It's like,
But there's got to
yeah,
be something in what they do. At least they hype up the audience, or it's nice to see them,
man.
or what.
Their lyrics are the lyrics engage they engage with the people, no? I don't know
Right,
if
right, right. People connect with the lyrics. You
they
say
connect. Yeah, that's
devil
what I
eyes,
want to
yes.
say.
Uh-huh.
I need to get to your English classes, Eduardo.
Yeah. Well, Pepe, his first language is Spanish. I'm an English teacher though, so I speak English every day, but actually my first language is Spanish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and for me it's
Very
I
cool.
for me it's like really more easy to do songs in English, That's I
I mean,
don't
again, for me, you can speak Spanish because again, I work
oh,
for Spanish theaters, so all my technicians and directors only spoke Spanish, but they understood English. So they would talk to me in Spanish, I would speak in English, and if we needed to, then I would do sign language, and it was
Why
fine.
is that funny?
yeah, because I think that English, like you say less things that mean more. I don't know that
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
mean
Yeah,
more.
we use fewer syllables. Where you're like, I'm like, I'm sorry. You're like, meat. Oh, meat. Oh, yes. No, yeah, I understand. Yeah.
yeah. No, if you actually,
Get the McDonald's.
That's always interesting in languages when like you're translating and like it takes way longer or way shorter to say something.
if you take any word in Spanish and English, in Spanish it's probably gonna have 2 or 3 more syllables.
a lot, yeah, vowels,
Yeah.
yeah, a lot more
No,
vowels.
And also it's also backwards, and also it has
no,
gender
Yeah.
pronouns, and also oh my god,
It's
Yeah.
closer. It's closer to Latin. Spanish is closer to Latin. It's more classical language. English is like more debugged. It's
oh no,
like
we got
closer
we got
German.
lazy. No, yeah, we got lazy.
Nah, but English is
like
faster. Like
all
you
of our
get to a
short words.
point. Oh, you say.
Chinese is faster, man. Like you say like
China.
hao no,
Yeah.
and you have like hola, ¿cómo estás? ¿Qué tal?
我说金嘴，我说金嘴，你好吗？我说 is I speak，我说金嘴，
你好懂吗？
你好吗？
And Japanese is like oh sagara, like no, like
arigato no, arigato no, arigato no, arigato no.
My wife is
So-
Japanese. We call IKEA. IKEA. We go to IKEA.
To IKEA. 50% off.
I just saw Naruto in Japanese, man.
That's how you get the sound, right? Like from the anime. Arigato, arigato.
No, see, that's the other thing. Like K-pop, like I know, like I can listen to a K-pop song and I know all the lyrics. I have no idea what I'm saying, but I could sing along right with it. Promise.
Yeah, like the Gundam style guy.
The Gangnam Style, right? Oppa Gangnam Style.
And someday you learn the language and then you find out what you've been singing.
No,
I'm not that inquisitive. I'd rather not. I don't care.
there are like 90% of the songs, popular songs. I only know the chorus, the most up part. Like what? Like Champagne Supernova.
That's the
Like
point.
Davide the Liza in a
Oh,
champagne
even
supernova.
Sweet Caroline. The only part I know is ba ba ba.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It's for that Ellen. Oh man.
That's good. That's good. Okay. We gotta take a break actually, guys.
Alright,
Okay, so
alright,
I'm gonna
fellas.
cut it. I'm gonna upload this to YouTube, and if you're up, we can continue this in like 30 minutes. These guys gotta
Great.
take their medicine and also.
All right. You
Much
go.
I'm busy.
You gotta
Make
take
sure,
medicine.
make sure you write out the names of everyone, so maybe we can
Yeah.
follow each other.
Let's
on
write our
Instagram.
names on Instagram. Let's write our
Definitely.
Instagram's names on the chat room,
All right.
so you can follow us.
Yeah, I like this.
You see, I don't even know how
It's
to
Mickey
do
Me
that.
Choco.
neither, bro.
Thanks so much, guys. This was
Oh,
really a
God,
treat.
thanks.
It's really nice to meet all of you. This was a blast. I think I gotta go have dinner
Oh,
with
you
my
gotta go
folks
too?
and all that. But this is really cool. Let's do it again.
Yeah, let's do it again for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thanks. I'm gonna take everybody's Instagram that's over here. Thank you again.
Thank you, man. I gotta go also because it's like really late here in
right.
Spain.
All right.
I have to take my kids tomorrow to school, so
Oh.
it's been a pleasure to
man.
for all of you. How my English is so bad.
I hear you.
That's all good. That's all good.
Yes,
Thank
okay.
you, man. Thank you.
Nice
I'm
to
gonna
meet you
follow.
guys.
Ready?
Yes, I'm gonna follow you guys, and then I'll go make sure everyone follows everyone. Okay.
There it is.
Thank you. Let's do community, man.
There it
Yeah.
is.
I'll
Now
see
that
you guys.
AI is
Alright,
coming,
cool.
we're fucked. AI is gonna fuck.
Oh, no.
AI is gonna
We
fuck
can
us.
talk about AI and religion, man.
Oh,
Is
That's
it
what it is.
Laura?
That way it is.
that's no.
Is
What?
Laura?
I don't think so.
Darling.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we're gonna end up like Wendy Williams.
Yeah.
No, not me.
Okay, I'm gonna stop recording now. Thank you, guys.
All right,
It's been a
cool.
pleasure,
Thank
okay?
you.
See you
Thank
guys in a minute.
Thank you. All
Gracias,
right.
chicos.